You've now conceded more goals than Manchester United and Chelsea. That's not good, is it?
No.
What's happened to your team?
I just think you've conceded a 7, a 4, so that's not great at all.
We're not talking about United. So United free zone until 5:45. Is the league over?
It looks that way. I can't see Manchester City slipping up now. I mean, they're so good at this time of year, when it comes down to putting their foot on someone's throat and holding it there and winning. They're just that good.
What happened? I mean, your front three were awful.
Now, do you know what? When I was watching the game last night, like, Arsenal have been brilliant all season, but they chose...
Not all season. Last 4 games you've been appalling.
Not appalling. Okay. We haven't lost until last
night. Second half against Liverpool.
We're not appalling. We just hang on for dear life. We weren't appalling.
We hung on for dear life. Listen to you.
Yeah, we weren't appalling. We weren't appalling against West Ham. We just didn't win.
Southampton, you're appalling.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Okay, other than the Southampton result, we've been pretty much very good all year.
Yeah.
And we chose to put in our worst performance this season in the biggest game of the season.
I think you're wrong. I think they didn't let you play.
No, but we didn't do nothing. We didn't lay a glove on them. We didn't. There was nothing from the first 15 minutes. I thought Arsenal would come out of the traps fast, get after them, try and press them, really work hard, and it was almost just a little bit passive. Like, it was an inferior complex where they knew Manchester City were better, and I just expected in the biggest game where they know if they win it, they've got a great chance of winning the league. They just didn't show anything.
That first goal killed you, right?
It killed us, but even before that, there was nothing really going on, and it could have been. If it wasn't for Ramsdale, who was brilliant, by the way, if it wasn't for him, it could have been 5, 6, 7. He made that many good saves. Poor finishing from Haaland. Fantastic bit of defending from Ben White. It almost felt like it was. No, I don't even know what it was, but it felt like someone had just knocked me clean out.
This is your best opportunity to win the Premier League for a long, long time, because next season, I was going to say you haven't won it yet this season. I don't expect, even though you got a 2-point lead. But Man City, I wouldn't say they'll be better next season, but they'll be just as good.
Yeah, they'll be.
Everyone else, you think, I mean, Aston Villa, you think they're going to be a little bit better. United should improve. Yeah, Liverpool won't be as bad as they were.
But you remember, you're talking about teams, Man United, Villa, that are way behind Arsenal. So they're not all of a sudden going to leapfrog Arsenal.
Not way behind.
Well, you are. At the minute, you're like 16 points. There's nowhere on the planet United will leapfrog Arsenal from
but you played
far.
3 games more.
You've got to win yours.
I know. I think Arsenal last night didn't lay a glove on City because City were head and shoulders above you. I think they made...
Next season, I expect City I expect Liverpool to be better, but I believe that, obviously, people saying United will just leapfrog them. I don't think that will happen. Villa, I don't think will happen. Chelsea, there's an argument because they're a very strange club. One season they're struggling, the next season they go and win something massive. But Arsenal will be better again next season. I think the foundations have been set by Mikel Arteta. You add 1 or 2 more additions, you have to go again next season. If you can get a Declan Rice or someone of that quality, you then go again next season. But I wouldn't say it's their best chance. They're never going to get the opportunity again.
No, not never. Never's a long time.
But I think they'll be better next season again. I think this experience...
Who they?
Arsenal. I think even after the experience this year of getting close...
Well, Arsenal better next season is winning it, isn't it?
Well, not particularly. Getting closer to City. I know they've been leading pretty much all season, but to beat City to a title, you've had to have done pretty much be faultless.
Well, Man City have been faultless of recent weeks.
Unbelievable.
I thought just everyone was incredible. Jack Grealish having the time of his life.
He played well. De Bruyne, Akanji, tank.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a great idea. We didn't even talk about Kyle Walker possibly coming on to stop the threat of...
Do you know what? Martinelli tried to run him once. When he realised he couldn't do it, he went, you know what?
That was a masterstroke. When I heard that team news, I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
For City. All of them. Kevin De Bruyne looks ridiculous. Rodri, his defensive duties are just outstanding. All of them are fantastic. It pains me to say it, being a Man United fan.
They're so good.
But the way they quickly pass the ball, if they lose it, they get it back within 5 seconds, the old Barcelona style. Just their movement on and off the ball. If it's not working down the right, they switch it to the left.
What's incredible as well is when they play at the back and then they allow teams to press them or try and press them, they've got the ability for Ederson to just go over the top.
Was it you I was having a conversation with about Ederson and Alisson?
Yeah, you tried to put De Gea in that category.
Okay. Was it okay? There's no comparison. Ederson is head and shoulders above Alisson.
Alisson's brilliant.
Ederson's feet are mine. His passing is incredible.
Yeah, but have you seen Alisson as well? A couple of goals for Salah, where he just go over the top. Both of them two.
I think they've got the best goalkeeper.
Them two are the best 2 goalkeepers in the division. Yeah. Alisson and Ederson. And Ederson's distribution is the best. But the way he can they start pressing him. And what I think is so impressive about Manchester City as well is that usually with certain players in your team, you'll pass them the ball and you'll think, will he keep hold of it? Will he make the right decision? With Ederson, they give him the ball. If someone's 5 yards away from him, they'll give it to Ederson because they believe in his technique and his feet. But his distribution is never phased. Yeah, over the years he's made a couple of mistakes. But the passing, I mean, even for the first goal, where they press and he just goes
Yeah.
over the top to Haaland.
It's going to be a weird season for Arsenal because you're going to finish second, right? I think you're going to finish second. I don't think you're going to win the league. And all Arsenal fans should be over the moon with second place in the Premier League.
It feels like defeat.
It will because you had the...
Do you know what it feels like a little bit? Not relegation, but...
Oh, it doesn't feel like that.
Not relegation, but it's like...
You've been kicked in the stomach.
Yeah, like, oh, wow, really?
Because you thought you were going to win it. Wasn't that long ago? You were 8 points clear.
It's just crazy. You look at the league table this morning, and Arsenal's still top, and it still doesn't make you feel any better.
Yeah, and you got a lead at the top as well.
Yeah, 2 points. And you still don't feel any better.
But they've got 2 games in hand. They basically need to lose 2 games, right? Because 2 draws, they've got a better goal difference than you. So 2 draws, they go top.
But I think it's bonkers. Like, you look at the league table and Arsenal's still top, and you still go, oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. What do Arsenal need for next season if they're going to knock on the door again?
Just to go again. Got to keep that belief. Add one or two more additions.
Where would that be? Where would you?
I'd like another midfield. I think Declan Rice would be brilliant.
Yeah, add to that. Yeah.
Another centre half. Essentially, yeah. Maybe another right back, but then Tomiyasu if he can stay fit. Another centre. I mean, listen, there's all area you can strengthen, but I think in that middle of the park, if you ever add a Declan Rice, that would be massive.
Have a listen to your gaffer. This is Mikel Arteta. He spoke to talkSPORT following his side's 4-1 tonking by City last night. He insists that his players deserve praise despite the result.
Tonight is about accepting that this is the level, and this is the level that we have been competing, not tonight, but in the last 9.5 months. And if we are here, it's for a reason, and the players deserve a lot of credit to do that. But we have to move on now and go back to our level because we weren't there today.
Have you learned anything about Mikel Arteta from last night's performance?
No, but I think he spoke really well there, and he's right. If you want to beat this team, like the audition that the Arsenal players got last night is that if you want to win the league, this is the level you have to get to. Like consistently, you have to play this well. And listen, Manchester City are just that good. No point even saying that Arsenal were poor last night and they didn't put a performance in. Manchester City are just unbelievable. But my only concern now for Arsenal is that the whole season doesn't spiral out of control, where they've got beat by City, they played Chelsea and somehow they lose that game.
Won't lose that.
Then they lose to Newcastle away, which is a tough place to go. But they've got Brighton coming up, and all of a sudden, Newcastle nearly catch them. Man United might, do you know what I mean? You hope that doesn't happen. So I think they have to bounce back against Chelsea.
Is the league over?
Listen, it's not over. Mathematically, it's not over yet. So
in your head? But
in my head, I can't see. With the Manchester City I saw last night, I can't imagine them dropping hardly any points.
Okay. Can anyone stop them doing the treble? Real Madrid, is that it?
I think they'll beat Real Madrid. The only hope I've got about Real Madrid is that they're quite wily and they know what to do. Quite the dark arts.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you know what I mean? Benzema, these guys, Toni Kroos, Modric. But if you look at it quality, there's not a better team on the planet right now than Manchester City.
What about? And I know you're going to take the mickey, but
they'll beat you.
You think so?
We've
beaten them this season.
What game comes? Yeah, but you've also conceded 6.
I know, but it's more than just Manchester United, Man City. It's Manchester United playing for the history of the club, stopping them do the treble.
What game comes first? Champions League or FA Cup?
FA Cup.
So they beat you in that, and then they got one more for the treble. Oh, Man City winning that. They're not letting that slip. Imagine if they've won that, they wrapped the league up, and then they've got you boys. Oh no, no.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.